Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. Now, we have finished all of our 3.x main scenario quests, and honestly, we got caught up pretty quick, so we can officially start Stormblood. Now, I do want to throw out an additional tip, as some people watching this video may be wondering if there's anything left they have to do after finishing the 3.56 main scenario quests before they actually go and start doing Stormblood content. The first thing I'd recommend doing is your level 60 job quest. Now, on this character, we did it quite some time ago, so it's not going to be something that is available to me as I mess around with my menus here just to remember everything. The main reason you want to go do that is to make sure you gain access to all of your level 50 to 60 skills, specifically Tetragrammaton. Now, if you didn't do this at this point and 4.0 is out, I have some good news for you. In the previous videos, you saw me gaining the gear that I have on this character, which is half broken, but still here. All this item level 240 armor that I obtained from the main scenario quests. If I recall correctly, the level 60 job quest that you get that unlocks your final ability in Heavensward also rewards you with armor. If I'm not mistaken, it may even be Shire gear. Now, if you really want to, there will be a level 60 job quest for you as well, a second one right at the beginning of Stormblood. Now, whether or not you decide to do that right away is less relevant. Job quests in Heavensward gave you a new ability every 2 levels. Job quests in Realm Reborn gave you a new ability every 5 levels. However, I suppose if I go and get the new level 60 White Mage job quest, you can see that there are no abilities tied to job quests from 60 to 69. At level 70, your final job skill as well as some beginner armor will become available to you and you complete that very last quest. So it looks like if we just teleport to South Shroud real quick, I suppose, I can show you real quick that there's no reward specifically for the level 60 job quest, and I'd like to reiterate that the new job quest for Stormblood will be at 63, 65, it's either 67 or 68, one of the two, and then level 70. The only one that realistically matters is the level 71, which gives you armor and an ability. Although there is experience points to be gained from all of the prior ones. So I usually end up doing them all at level 69. I think it's worth like 800,000 EXP altogether. So here we go. This would be my new level 61. Speak with Ryosena at Camp Tranquil. And there you go. Unease in East End. So this is the first level 60 quest. It gives 170,000 experience points. So again, nothing to laugh at. It's pretty decent, but the thing is you only get a handful of these level 60 plus job quests, and they're all worth about that much EXP. Like I said, I think in total, all of the pre-70 Stormblood job quests for any job are about 800,000 experience points. We're going to do it now, just because, why not? I already started it in this video, and then we're going to go and start up the Stormblood main scenario quests. And there are going to be a lot of things that you're going to, I guess, find familiar about the beginning of Stormblood, as opposed in the way that you were familiar to them throughout the series when we went through Heavensward. The idea is, as I've been saying for a long time, to get this character back up to the most recent content, so that way I can heal it on controller, especially Savage. I would actually like to do Savage on this character. Healing it on controller, something it is going to take me practice. I anticipate screwing it up, but hopefully we can get through it and we'll be okay. So it looks like this is actually going to take us to the next zone. It says, speak with Isumi Yen at Camp 9 Ivies. We're actually going to go back to Mordona first and do that, because I think they're both actually going to take us into the Stormblood areas. So it would be important for me to, I guess, do both of them at the same time instead of going back and forth and forward and back. Apologies if you hear me taking a sip of water now and again. I've been busy recording all day, not just these videos, but a ton of others as well. Beyond the Great Wall. Of course, as it is Stormblood and as I'm just trying to walk you through sort of the process for going through Stormblood. We will be skipping all of the cutscenes for Stormblood as well. Hashtag no spoilers, except for the bosses and stuff. I guess those are technically spoilers. Now, you know, this will be the second time I've gone through these quests in, I suppose, a week. On my Bard on Famfrit, I just recently did all of the 60 to 70 quests. I think it took me about 15 hours to do all of them. So we went through them pretty fast, the 60 to 70 quests. So if you're skipping cutscenes, expect about that amount of time. Maybe a little bit shorter or longer, depending on your experience. Or, you know, if you're watching the cutscenes, very, very, very long by comparison. It's a lot of cutscenes for you to get caught up with. Alright, so let's grab the White Mage NPC first, because that's the NPC, this NPC is going to take us immediately into the next zone, I believe. So let me just talk to Sumiyan over here. And I think they'll tell me to go to the next area. Yeah, Castrum Oriens. So that's where we're going. That's the next zone. It's not there. That was the entrance to the dungeon from the last video. Alphino here is the one that we are looking for. And then you are the one we are looking for. Proceed to Castrum Oriens. So welcome to the first new area in Stormblood, Girabania's The Fringes. We're going to skip the little introduction cutscene that they do to talk about the Fringes. Although it is a very nice cutscene, we are skipping it, as I promised. I like how it's not even the story. It's Sumiyan is the first person we talk to. And look at that. We even have to go down a little bit to the south. Survey the area to the southwest. We'll do that shortly. Let's just get ourselves situated here. Oh, big thing, don't do this. The last time I was here on my Bard, I forgot to attune to this very first Aetheryte. Don't forget to do that. And honestly, you'll be coming back here fairly frequently, but you may want to consider setting your home point to Rhalgr's Reach, which is where they're taking me in the main scenario right now. I, however, would like to implore that you do one other thing before anything else when you come to the Fringes. As you may remember in Heavensward, we had to gather ether currents. And yes, in Stormblood areas, you will need to gather ether currents. Now, do I have... No, I don't. So let me open up my inventory. If I could just remember the buttons. There we go. And let's go to our key items. We have our trusty ether compass. Let's set it there. And now I can do that. And we can see where our ether currents are. So 246 yalms to the southwest. So this is our first location. Now, I would like to say this. The first two areas we are going to go to, the Fringes and the Peaks, both of them you will not be able to learn flying until you're approximately level 67. If you recall the zone, the Sea of Clouds, it's been quite some time, so hopefully that's still fresh on your mind. The Sea of Clouds operated in a similar way, where you were unable to finish your flying the first time that you went to the zone. So we will not be able to get every ether current, nor will, whether they be out in the wild or through quests, here on our first visit to the Fringes. For that reason, you may want to just grab a few of them here and then wait to finish them until you come back at a later time. That being said, we still do have this quest to do. It is nice to fully explore zones as we are unlocking them, however, because of the little bit of bonus experience. It's about 19,000 experience points every time you explore a certain area of the zone or open it up on your map to be viewed. And if you do the entire zone, you get a bonus of about 10 times that, 191,000 experience points. So it's just nice. We're already half a level, more than half a level ahead of the main scenario itself. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about it. Although for dungeons, I probably, if I'm going to skip side quests like I plan to do, I'll probably have to I guess, run dungeons multiple times. So where is the next ether current? It is 392 yalms to the east. I would like to reassure you that there's also more of them to the south, so do not ignore those. Now, I'm going to be keeping my eye on the mini-map because there are new things. In fact, I can see one over there. So there's something that can happen in Stormblood Fates that could not happen back in Heavensward or Realm Reborn Fates. And that is, well, there's actually two things that can happen. One is EXP bonus. Basically, Fates in Stormblood areas can sometimes reward you bonus experience points for completing them. I believe it is double the amount of experience points, so if you see one of those fates, as long as it's one you think you can feasibly complete, it's not like a super boss fate or one that just may take you 20-30 minutes to do alone, or if there's a fate party around, I would recommend stopping and doing them. The amount of experience points they give will again help make sure that if you want to avoid doing side quests, you, well, can use the fates instead. Alright, and that'll be it for the level 60 White Mage quest as well. And we won't have to come back to this NPC until we are level 63, and even then, like I said, no job abilities are tied to these job quests until level 70, so to be honest, we will probably ignore these right up until we're doing that last push to level 70. There you go. Just a little bit of bonus EXP. Now we'll move on, and 1.5k gil. Alright, so I guess we could lock down the remaining ether currents first for the Fringes, or the ones we can reach currently. Like I said, not a huge priority, so I think we may be better off just kind of getting the ones that are nearby wherever the main scenario quest takes us, and then worrying about the remaining ones at a later time. Just so we can kind of get a move on, since we won't be able to complete flying here until level 67-ish anyway. Now, there will be updates to a lot of the previous features you're used to. We will have new sort of hunts, both the B, A, and S ranks, as well as the daily reset ones, although those will not unlock for a little bit of time, so you can use those to level as well. And I do recommend it. Centurio seals do have quite a bit of value at level 70, as they can be used to purchase grade 6 materia, as well as if you go back to old Heavensward zones and you're ever on the ground for some reason, you can get the mount speed increases we spoke about in a previous video. So see, this is just a regular fate, so we're not going to stop and do it. It's not a bad fate, but there's one other thing that can happen, and that's the only thing that has me curious. How much health does this thing have as a boss fate? There is a rare occurrence, and no, I don't think it'll be worth it. He didn't even walk like 2 feet before he changed his mind either. There's another occurrence that can happen during fates, but unless you're chaining fates together, you're far less likely to experience this. And there is a new monster that can appear in Stormblood only fates called the Forlorn Maiden. If you see the Forlorn Maiden, you should kill it immediately. What it will allow you to do is gain bonus experience points from the next fate you complete, so long as you are completing it before changing zones. So if you do one fate and you get a Forlorn Maiden, you're pretty much going to want to expend it on another fate. If there's a boss fate nearby that's worth a ton of experience and you can actually complete it, or any fate that has an EXP bonus, or if a boss fate has EXP bonus and you have Forlorn Maiden, that is the #1 thing that can happen, then you would definitely go ahead and do it. It'll give you a little text pop-up on the screen when a Forlorn Maiden appears within a fate. So we may want to check out Bold This Way to see if one appears there. We've got another one, another ether current here. There's another ether current somewhere that way as well, to my right. But again, we'll get to that when it's appropriate for where we're traveling in the story. I think it's up top here, this next one. One thing that's worth pretty decent experience points that most people ignore is actually the sightseeing log of Stormblood. Now, the sightseeing log in Heavensward also rewarded experience points. We may actually go through a day of literally just going to every ether current, or every sightseeing log in the Stormblood areas. There's only one problem with that, and that is the Kugane hostelry, which I am sure we will have time to discuss some point in the series, as I'm sure people want me to do it because you hate me, or you love me, or you love to hate me, or you hate to love me. One of these is true. Alright, so it looks like some people are here completing this fate. There's quite a few people here, actually. This character is on Gilgamesh, so this fates can get pretty busy. It can be pretty good for leveling in the evenings. It's currently a Thursday evening right now when I'm recording this, so it's kind of prime time for me to actually have fates available to me. Now, I would like to point something else out while I have the opportunity about the Forlorn Maidens. Even if I am not present for a Forlorn Maiden being defeated in a fate, as long as I am part of the fate completion, I will still get that EXP bonus. So if they defeated a Forlorn Maiden before I got here, I will still get that Forlorn Maiden buff when I eventually leave. Now, as I'm holding aggro from all my holy spamming, I am trying to pull it back a little bit. But yeah, at least I'll also be able to show you the amount of experience points you'll earn from Fates. Fates are really better on secondary jobs. I think I've mentioned this in earlier videos as well, that Fates benefit from Armory bonus. So as a sense of gaining experience points initially, they are inferior to when you eventually level a second job and you have access to that Armory bonus for the bonus 100% EXP below level 60 and the bonus 50% EXP above level 60. It doesn't, unless the Forlorn Maiden... Now, one thing that can also happen is the Forlorn Maiden can just choose to spawn sort of at the very, very end of a fate, and then right as you're killing the last enemy, you know what it does? It spawns, and then the fate ends, and you are not going to get any credit, my friend. There was not a Forlorn Maiden. 75,000 EXP, though. Not bad at all. Looks like somebody started on that fate as well. The Evil Seed is actually a very, very popular fate. It is a boss fate in the area, one of the achievement-related ones. And I think at base it rewards about 150,000 experience points. If it has EXP bonus, about 300,000. And I think if you have the Forlorn Maiden plus Armory bonus, it gets close to like 800,000 to 900,000 EXP from that one fate. The problem is getting people willing to put time forth in order to actually participate. I think my cat just jumped on a table. He's fine. It just sounds like he jumped on a table. He was sleeping right behind me a second ago, but he would be behind the green screen, so... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and with that, we are in Rhalgr's Reach. Rhalgr's Reach is basically going to be your new Idleshire in this expansion, and it looks like people are already recognizing me because I'm being poked. That is what I get for putting this character on Gilgamesh. Expect this in Rhalgr's Reach quite frequently. You'll see new mounts here. You'll see people shouting really weird things. And it'll be exciting. There's a lot of NPCs in Rhalgr's Reach that are not available until after you complete the Stormblood main scenario quests. So anything that you think you may want to unlock after the main scenario quests, like Tomestones or Omega Normal or almost anything, is either here or in Kugane. Although the Tomestones and all the currency-related NPCs like Idleshire are here in Rhalgr's Reach. Oh, let's not forget to grab the Ethernet shards while we can. Now, we are going to start getting into territory where a lot of side quests are going to be popping up for us. I will say that while there are a lot of side quests, and if you don't care for the story that the side quests tell, they can grow tedious, as most RPG side quests do. That being said, if you do enjoy side quests having actual stories tied to them, then Stormblood will be a much more enjoyable experience for you, especially while leveling. A lot of the side quests have incredibly strong narratives, especially when compared to that of Heavensward. There's entire quest chains explaining the background and lore of specific areas or the stories of the people who are actually employing you for these side quests in the first place. So it's something I can recommend. Just keep in mind that ultimately, a side quest is just that, a side quest. And as I won't be spoiling anything here, there's even less reason for me to do side quests now than I guess there ever have been before. So one little guilty truth about me and Rhalgr's Reach. I need to go up there, so it doesn't matter right now. You can swim in this water, don't forget. I forgot about that a lot. So going up here, obviously I don't want to swim because I can't jump that high. But if I want to go from like here to that coast over to the north, I don't need to go all the way around. See? Like this, for example. I don't need to go around, I can just jump off and sprint, and then I'll swim over. It's a very convenient thing to actually be able to swim in some places in Final Fantasy XIV, even if swimming ultimately it doesn't feel like all that great of a feature. It's fairly standard in most MMOs, but for us it's like, yay, feature! I think we'll probably finish up the Rhalgr's Reach quests here, and then we will call that a video. I wanted to get people initially accustomed to Rhalgr's Reach and some of the changes they could expect in fates and whatnot. So I think we want to save the Fringes and then the Peaks plus the quest that follows for their own videos. Cold Steel and the Peaks being their own videos, and then the part after that just before we head to the first dungeon. I feel like there are a lot of very key points we kind of want to break up into videos, solo instances and things like that. Dungeons, trials, and whatnot. Quite a few of them. Same amount as Heavensward, but still quite a few of them. And we had videos for all of that in the Heavensward series as well. I believe after we complete this quest is where it will break off into both the Fringes and the Peaks. Keep in mind, if your item level is still too low, don't forget to pay attention to this stuff. I will say this, if you are somebody who is leveling Desynthesis, one of the skills in this game that honestly I should probably have on multiple characters, that these armor pieces, if you're not using them to actually increase your item level, may be worth using them for Desynthesis. Also, tons of grade 5 materia, which can also be incredibly useful. See? Healing? Mask right there? Listen, I'm only using 240 gear right now, so the main scenario is going to be largely responsible for increasing my item level. We may even do some side quests to get some item level increases as well. Well, that was a quick one. Healing. The Ether Compass may now be used to... Oh, I've already been using it, my friend. As if I didn't already know that. And here's where it's going to split up into the Fringes and the Peaks. So we're actually going to make this a rather short video. Consider it an introduction to Stormblood. And in the next video, we will be actually completing maybe both sides of this before then moving into some of the quests that follows. If not, we'll probably do one of them. And then, because the Peaks isn't very long, the Fringes is a little bit longer, but collectively, both of these are not all that long. But anyway, that's going to be a wrap for this video. Welcome to Stormblood and Final Fantasy XIV's Let's Play, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. And a special shout out to our Patreon supporters. We've started using that again, and we're going to be doing behind-the-scenes videos, exclusive early releases for Patreon, and more. We're still in the process of developing all the correct goals for our Patreon in the first place. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see all of you fine ladies and gentlemen in the next video. And until then, take care.